Hello and welcome back to Bookish, and welcome to Thursday, March the what is the day? March the 18th, March the 19th, March the 19th, Thursday, March the 19th. Thought I'd just do a really quick video book review of Visitation by Jenny Erpenbeck. I read this as a part of the Read German Books 2020 readathon hosted by Mel's Bookland Adventures and Britta Bowler. This is a really slim book, about 150 pages. It took me longer to read than I thought it was going to take me to read, because I think it is a fairly densely written book with all kinds of layers. It's one of those books where almost as soon as I finished reading it, I felt like, that I probably should reread it, because undoubtedly there were some themes and things like that that I missed. I will say that I enjoyed the book. I thought it was a good book. I don't think it was a great book. There are some things about it that I just found to be a little bit flawed, a little bit overdone to a certain extent. Essentially, the novel, or novella, whatever we want to call it, Visitation, is about a piece of property located on Brandenburg Lake outside of Berlin, and that would be on what would become the east side of Berlin after World War II and during the Cold War. And essentially, it focuses on this piece of property and this house and the surrounding property and the people who travel through the house, who live in the house, who live adjacent to the house, who come and go. And in the process, it also kind of chronicles the impact of historical events on 20th century Germany, from a relatively, rural community with all kinds of folkways and superstitions and kind of definitive German culture things, I think, that are in there, to an increasingly modernizing place during the Weimar Republic, and then the damages done during World War II and the problems faced by the people living in the eastern part of Germany and East Berlin in the years after World War II and the Cold War. It kind of tracks, all those things. And the book, for being 150 pages, to me, was really kind of about a lot of things. To me, it's about time. It's about land. It's about the way we use the land. It's about the way we feel about our homes. It's about how land and homes and property and buildings can mean things to us and symbolize things to us, and almost be like the receptacles of memory. It explores kind of how memory is tied to place, and how we leave our scars on the land and on the places where we live, and those places also leave deep impressions on us. There are some beautiful images, and there's some beautiful writing in this book. There were times at which I was really blown away by the power of the writing and the images that were created and the beautiful use of language and the themes. But at the same time, there were times when I thought it was a little heavy-handed, a little show-offy. One of the sections in particular essentially introduces a family, a multi-generational family to the property, and it becomes very confusing in that section who's speaking and who's related to and how they're related. And I don't think that had to be done. To be honest with you, that felt like something that was just kind of like almost like a writerly exercise. Let's see if I could do that. And maybe I missed, why it was done that way, but that led to confusion, which carries on in the book because some of the people are there in different time periods, and you kind of have to keep track of who they are. There is every other chapter in the book is about the gardener. The gardener is somebody who just has a natural affinity for plants and growing things and knowing when to do things, and he is just naturally in tune with the land. He's obviously a metaphorical figure, since he's only referred to as the gardener, and over time his ability to make positive changes on the land itself diminish. He does whatever the new owners ask him to do, and he is the primary way in which the land is changed, and plants are pulled up and replanted, and flower beds and all kinds of stuff like that goes on. I kind of found the gardener to be a little bit heavy-handed, the use of the gardener there to be a little bit heavy-handed, and I'm not sure if he's intended to be a godlike figure or just this person who is so tied to this one particular piece of land that as he deteriorates, we see the deterioration of the land and the home, which, by the way, at the end is kind of reborn and resold and is going to be remodeled, and the whole process will start on again. And that's what I mean about, part of it being about time and our impact on the land, that while we're here, we have a tremendous impact, but in the long scheme of things, the things that happen to us, the things that we do, are just blips on the millennial lasting of the land and on the epochs long history of a piece of land and of the earth in general. So I thought it was a good book. I don't think it was a great book. One of the things I liked about it was its ambition, but at the same time, I do think there's a little bit of writerly showing off going on in the book from time to time. So there you go. That's my review of Visitation by Jenny Erpenbeck. Hopefully I'll have the finance book tag done by David Murphy. I'll make that video, I'm hoping, sometime tomorrow and get that up, and then I'll have my Saturday hodgepodge on Saturday, and hopefully, the world will start looking like it's making a little bit more sense sometime next week. I'm not positive about that. I am trying to be optimistic. Anyway, let me know what you thought in the comment section below if you've ever read Visitation by Jenny Erpenbeck, and as always, thank you for watching.